time. It's time for story.
What's the story?
I don't know. We're going to make it up.
We're going to make a story up.
Story up. So, you said you had an idea.
Yeah,
about one of these.
there was one of these story prompts that there's not a particularly lengthy thing I want to say, but there was a title that I had just like a little sweet idea for.
Well, how about this? You can make that a single short story if you want.
Yeah, so the title was, and this was from Kellandry.
This was from Kel Goodall.
Yeah, this is from Kel Goodall. A single lonely tit.
One is the loneliest number.
So, I don't know where this came from, but I read that title and I started putting together in my head a film about a woman who has had to have a mastectomy and, like, life's going a bit rough. She's currently got one lonely tit, and she starts doing bird watching and makes friends with, like, a little bird outside and makes friends with this lonely little bird. I don't know what kind of with the tit family of birds, and just like a nice sweet film about a relationship, like a woman like ends up having this nice little thing with a little bird she meets out in her garden after having had a mastectomy, and that would be called a single lonely tit.
Well, technically it's two lonely tits.
Well, indeed, either one of them could be the single lonely tit until, surprise, surprise, the end of the film, they have a nice, sweet thing. I don't know what the antagonism in the middle would be, but I just loved that mental picture. So there you go. That's a whole short story by itself. Is what a single lonely tit.
That was a good one. Thank you, Cal Goodall, for your suggestion. So we've got some other suggestions. There's a few I quite like here. The one that was sort of a combination from Becky Tooterhill and Tricky. Becky suggested the furniture is lava. And Tricky suggested it's also placed ever so slightly crooked, so it bothers you immensely.
Okay, I don't know how we make a narrative out of this, but like that combination of things is unsettling,
isn't it? Also, the one I will tie in perhaps in a minute, actually. I quite like the idea of, do you know the sort of the Dr. and Igor character?
Yeah.
The characters that we do.
Yes.
You do a very good evil doctor voice. I quite like the idea that they, out of some sheer evil plotting, have decided to, Igor, I've made all the furniture into lava.
That's better than where I was going, because I hear furniture is made of lava, and my thought process was, well, why would it be made of lava? Maybe it's not the only thing that's made of lava. Maybe it's a story about a family of lava golems.
Aww.
But I like your idea.
Oh, I want to hear about the lava golems.
We can do a story about the lava golems if you prefer.
Okay, well, maybe we'll do a third story. We'll see how quickly we get this one out. So we need a character. Who is being afflicted with this off-centre, untouchable furniture?
I thought, are we going Igor and the scientist?
I thought they'd made it to inflict on others.
Oh, I'd gone a different direction again, yet entirely from there. I was like, they had tried to do, I don't know what they were aiming for, but it went wrong, and now they're stuck with this affliction of all of our furniture in our secret lab is crooked and made of lava, and we can't fix it.
What if, just for fun, they've been trying to make the floor lava? And hopped from furniture to furniture safely, but it accidentally went wrong, and they got the furniture instead.
I'm trying to work out like what room there is for like what's our resolution, what's our end goal? Like, do they have to go on some kind of quest to turn this back to normal? Do they eventually find themselves like, you know what, it's not so bad having lava furniture that's a bit crooked annoyingly?
Well, we also have Peter the More Senpai Herbert, who suggested ghosts that really just need a break. So maybe the ghosts are involved somehow?
Maybe that's our end goal, is they spend a bunch of time trying to work out how to put things back to normal, and then it turns out that like slightly crooked lava furniture is great for ghosts because no one's going to bother them.
No one's going to move that furniture or try and sit there and sort of sit into their incorporeal bodies.
Yeah, there is nothing more annoying as a ghost than trying to sit down on a piece of furniture that no longer exists. It's no thoughtfulness from the living force.
Right, got it. Okay. Do we have a name for this story?
Dying to put my feet up.
Oh. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. I will tell you the tale of dying to put my feet up. Once upon a time,
Igor, finally, my non-specific science experiment. Oh, yes, sorry, I forgot. We know what it's going to be for. We shall turn the floor to lava. And for once and for all, we can play the truest game of the floor is lava.
Excellent, Master. It is my favourite game.
Now, to flip the switch. Oh.
Oh dear.
Well,
The floor is definitely not lava.
no. I will, however, stand up very quickly because my chair appears to be lava. Oh, goodness, what's gone on?
It seems to have gone the wrong way round, Master.
Oh, goodness, now, how are we going to turn this back? Can we reverse the polarity of,
Neutron flow, Master.
Yes, that's it. Let's try that one. No, that's not done it.
No, it's not done it.
No, nature's lava now. This is all going a little bit wrong.
I guess this is life now, Master.
We'll put it back the way it was. At least the furniture was sort of self-contained.
Yes. So, I hadn't quite got around to doing the tidying, Master, so all of the furniture is somewhat skewed. And I don't have a condition, and it would be rude of me to say that I did. But it's really winding me up that they're not straight, Master.
Indeed. And you see, I do have a problem, which is I am slightly allergic to touching lava with my bare hands, which means putting it back into place is going to be rather more cumbersome than I had hoped.
Big mood, Master.
Yes.
Perhaps I should get some oven mitts.
I think you're going to need more than a good pair of oven mitts, Igor, although it would be amusing to see.
Meanwhile, elsewhere in the castle. Ooh, I'm so tired of rattling these chains.
I could really do with a sit down.
Indeed, but every time we sit down, one of the minions sits in us. It's so awkward.
Oh, indeed, and then they complain as if we are the problem.
Indeed. Perhaps we should wander the castle and see if we can find somewhere else to sit down.
Well,
Ooh. And so they headed up into the labs. Ooh. They look comfy.
well, seeing as we're incorporeal and, well, sensation's no longer a thing to us, I doubt the heat's going to be a problem. And I doubt anyone else is going to be sitting here either.
Indeed, if you can't stand the heat, get out of my cushions. Oh, that's much better. I'm so glad we got to have a rest. Although, I must just straighten these up a bit. They're really getting on my wig.
Oh, yes. As an incorporeal ghost, are we able to rotate this?
Oh, yes, I have some poltergeisty powers.
Oh, wonderful.
Master, look, they're straightening. It's a Christmas miracle.
Is this the ending? Igor and the Doctor are just happy that they've been straightened out and it's not going to, like, really get on their nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know about the ghosts. The ghosts are happy there. They're just like, yeah, at least it's not annoying us by being crooked.
And the ghosts are happy because they got to have a rest and no one's going to sit there.
Yeah, there we go. There's a nice little short story.
And so, everything worked out in the end. The end. Yay! Well then, time for this. Do you struggle to feel accomplished even when you've got loads of things done?
Yeah, I do. Adult life is really hard like that.
Do you miss the days when you used to get a firm pat on the back, a good hearty hurrah, or maybe even a gold star?
Yes, I do. Those were really useful, encouraging techniques.
Well, check these out. These are You Did Basic Adult Chore Stars.
How do they work?
Every time you do a task, you get a star. Did you clean the fridge out?
Yeah!
You get a star.
Yay!
Did you cook yourself a proper meal?
Yeah?
You get a star. Did you do your washing and hang it up the same day that it finished in the washing rather than leaving it for several days to go mouldy in the thing so that you had to wash it again before you could actually use it?
Not yet, but is there a star for that?
There is a star for that, but you can't have it just yet.
Okay, I did it! You have the star now!
Show me.
There it is!
Okay, you gotta start.
Yay!
That's You Did Basic Adult Chore Stars, because even adults sometimes need to feel rewarded for doing basic, not fun tasks.
Do you find that with all those jobs you've got to get done in a day, you don't have time for the things you love anymore?
I really don't. There's so much adult responsibility these days.
Do you wish that all of those hobby-based activities that you used to find time to squeeze into your routine could still get done?
Please, I was so getting into sweary cross-stitch.
Well, have you tried Hire a Hobbyist?
What's that?
Well, if you want to keep up with your activity and still be able to show people, look, I still do this fun activity, but you don't have the time, pay someone else to do it for you.
I can pay someone to go to those evening classes I started attending.
Exactly. You won't miss out on attendance and you won't get in trouble because someone was there for you.
How does it work?
Well, you pay someone and they will attend an activity for you or do an activity in your own home, and any of the material creations made will be handed to you. Then you can show your friends and family and pretend that you haven't slacked on your hobby.
Why, Marjorie, your woodworking classes are going excellently. This is a most amazing duck.
Yes, and I definitely haven't been there, too busy to go. So, try Hire a Hobbyist today.
Laura, we've got a new sponsor.
Oh, we got a new sponsor. Who's our new sponsor?
Our new sponsor is the next episode of Queer and Pleasant Strangers.
Oh, goodness, what episode is that?
59.
Oh, goodness, Quoops 59 is sponsoring us.
Quoops 59 is sponsoring Quoops 58. That was really nice of Future Us, wasn't it?
Yeah, tell us about what Future Us had to, to tell us about the next episode of Quoops.
So basically, Queer and Pleasant Strangers is a podcast.
Yeah.
They are two queer trans ladies who talk about their weeks. They talk about the things they've played and watched and listened to,
Yeah.
and just generally have a bit of a laugh and tell silly stories and make up stories and do skits and just generally fuck about.
I have it here in the notes that next episode of Quoops will not be a great departure from that. It will maintain the same basic structure
I
and
believe so.
continue to be an episode of Quoops.
Indeed.
They are not planning to radically redesign the show next week.
No, not as far as I'm aware.
Indeed.
Which is jolly nice of them.
Yeah.
So if you want 10% off of Queer and Pleasant Strangers, head over to stonemonkeyradio.blog and click the microphone.
Future Us, what were you thinking? It's a free show. How do we give them 10% off a free show?
Maybe we'll make it 10% shorter? That's Queer and Pleasant Strangers 59. Just head over to stonemonkeyradio.blog and enter the code Q&PS 58. Temporal issues.
My brain hurts and I feel like I'm fading out of time.
Does that mean if this episode bombs, this becomes a time paradox?
Oh gosh, if this is the end of the show, because everyone hates it after this episode, then
Yeah.
episode 59 never happens, and we never get sponsored by it.
Well, if we cause the end of the universe by not making next week's episode, you'll know what happened. Good morning and welcome to Fish Tank News. Princess Wispy has been floating upside down this morning. No one is quite sure if she's dead or just very strange, but Mum is going to look into it soon.
Algae has been building up on the side of the tank. We suspect that a big clean is incoming.
This morning's delivery of fish flakes was delayed, and we suspect that this is because it is a weekend and nobody wanted to get up.
Coming up later, we have an exclusive interview with a new Shabunkin, who's currently in a plastic bag in the corner of the tank, adjusting to the temperature of the water.
We'll have more on that as the story breaks. This has been Fish Tank News. Now over to the cat who's been staring at us through the glass this entire broadcast. Hello, and welcome to another public service announcement. This week, drink some water.
Your body is made up of primarily, you guessed it, water. As such, you require it to live.
It is very important to make sure that you stay properly hydrated.
And we're not just talking about fizzy sugary drinks. No, drink some actual water every now and then.
Indeed. Avoid caffeine. Too much caffeine can be very bad for you. Not being properly hydrated can be quite bad for your skin. So, if you have access to clean drinking water, please be sure to drink some water.
If you feel thirsty, drink some water. It's as simple as that.
Indeed. More water, please. I should enjoy some tasty water now. Refreshing.
And definitely water.
Not cake. Inside the boardroom of Electronic Actor Softworks.
Hi. Yeah, so what's all this about?
Recently we've been talking more and more often about how we can, streamline the process of, making very little actual game and selling it again for money.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking a little bit about this. A while ago we thought we'd hit the gold mine. We released that game where it was basically just creation tools and people had to make their own levels, for the little plumber to do their platforming on.
Yeah, but people didn't like it because of the lack of, inclines or something.
No. So we sold them, basically, make your own video games, do the work for us, and we sold them that.
Yeah.
Here's my new idea.
Sure.
We sell them that again.
Right.
But we just, give them 3 or 4 more tools that we already have in studio.
Inclines?
Yeah, like slopes.
Sure.
Slopes are no extra work. We already make slopes in that game ourselves.
Yeah.
We just didn't let them do it. So what if we make a sequel to the game where we made everyone make their own game, where they continue to make their own game?
Wow. I mean, that is fucking genius.
Indeed. And, obviously, we're not going to let them use any of the content from the first time they made all their own games. We're going to make them make their own games again, because then it feels like new content.
Yeah. And how are these people gonna be able to, talk and distribute their games? Their levels,
I haven't decided, but with great difficulty.
Yeah, there's not gonna be some kind of online community.
Making it easier for them to share their content with each other. That would mean less having to make their own games.
Of course. So separate them all out, and then they'll just all have to keep making things for ages, and then maybe in a couple of years we can stick it all together again with, I don't know, an extra enemy.
Yeah, and just bundle some of the best fan-made levels together and go, hey, look, people made this, it's more content.
Yeah, I mean, I'll assume that we'll have, within our, our ULA or something that, there's a whole thing where, the levels remain property of us, even though, it's just the creative work of just the cash monkeys.
Customers,
that was it. Yeah, I always forget that one.
Yeah. I have it written down on my hand just so I remember.
Handy. Handy.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think we're onto something.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's get that into action.